So I just wanted to start off this video by formally thanking Jeffree Star because yet again, he has paid my rent. Cheers, Jeffree! But either way, hello, I hope you're all well. I've actually been having a bit of a break from YouTube recently. You might not have been able to tell from upload specifically, because I did a bit in advance, but recording-wise, I haven't recorded in quite a while. And the reason for that is because it was the first time I've actually been able to go back home and see my parents during lockdown, and it actually got to the last day that I was there, and I was thinking about going home, and then all of a sudden, I seen Jeffree Star uploaded a video. Doing what's right is, the title of this Jeffree Star video, so if the fact that he actually uploaded a video talking about all this wasn't the most shocking thing, if he lives up to that title, I am going to be flabbergasted. But yeah, as you can see, the comments are turned off, the like ratio isn't the best, but honestly, could be worse. And it's also #1 trending, apparently, so this is what YouTube want to be shown on the homepage. So, some would say slightly biased, but let's not talk about that. But yeah, you know the crack with these videos. We're going to give it a watch, I'm going to give my opinions, and I'll probably get overly angry about some internet beef as well, so that's a load of fun. But I mean, first frame, we've got Jeffree Star sat on a gold sofa with his mansion fully in view in the background. Like, is it just me, or does Jeffree Star always look like that Bond villain that when James Bond walks into the room and he sees the villain for the first time, they spin around on the chair, they got the cat in the hand and they go,
"Ooh, I was expecting you, Mr. Bond."
Or even on top of that, you could say that Jeffree Star looks like the special guest at the judge's house in X Factor, and a group's just walked in and they're about to find out if they made it to the live shows or not. Or if you want to be completely blunt, the first time I glanced at this video, I thought it was 6ix9ine, so I can't believe I'm saying this. At that point, I was actually thinking to myself, thank God it's just Jeffree. But yeah, right, enough of the comparisons, right? Let's give this a watch.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I've been silent for a very long time. I know that's very rare for me. I've taken a lot of time to
You haven't been completely silent. Yes, you might not have made a few tweets here and there, but I've seen plenty of videos of you going around with like Black China and buying these like shoes that are worth 20 grand and you showing off your swimming pool on Instagram and all this stuff. So I wouldn't say you've been completely silent. But I get the point, okay? You haven't addressed the thing that's annoyed millions of people in the world, okay? If that's what you want to call a silent, then yeah, you have been pretty darn silent.
Now, in the past, I've been very guilty of speaking out of anger, out of frustration, out of my emotions.
No, you don't say, do you? Are you telling me that Jeffree Star, the person who saw little Callum Markie criticise him in a YouTube video ever so slightly and straight away rushed to Twitter to block him, lashes out and starts acting off anger? I mean, I don't believe it.
To grab my phone and just say whatever is on my mind in that moment without ever really thinking the ramifications of my words, my actions, and for the first time in a very long time, I'm really reflecting on my behavior and mine alone. And I've come to a lot of realizations, and it's been really important to...
Is it just me? Or does Jeffree Star always talk in his YouTube videos as if he's like a head teacher sitting down a pupil at school? He's just trying to patronize and being like,
Right, you're gonna listen to me, because I'm the important one here.
like, that might be nitpicking, okay, but I genuinely feel like I'm in a lecture right now. But one thing I do find slightly funny, by the way, is that when most YouTubers do their apology videos, they really set up the scene a bit differently, you know, like different camera, different background. They haven't really done the makeup or anything like that. They're probably crying a little bit, and Jeffree was just like, fuck it, if I'm gonna apologise, I'm gonna do it in style. Do you like my mansion? I mean, I don't know whether I hate it or rate it, so yeah, fair play to you, Jeffree Star, I guess.
actually understand everything that I was a part of, that I did wrong, and really start a new chapter for myself. I've spent a lot of time realizing why I do certain things and why I do the things that I do.
Jealousy. The reason you really didn't like James Charles, let's be honest, was because he was becoming bigger than you on YouTube and now officially is bigger than you by quite a bit. So that's all it was just jealousy, you know, didn't really take a year to figure that one out, but I'll let you off, I guess.
Today, there are no excuses.
What's the bet that he makes excuses? And I mean, I genuinely, hand on heart, okay, haven't watched this video, but just hearing Jeffree Star saying he's not going to make excuses, I don't know if I can believe that.
Did I slip up? Am I human? Have I done some fucked up things? Of course I have.
Oh, I mean, don't try and make this relatable, Jeffree. Like, yes, we're all human, we're all made mistakes and all this stuff, but have we done similar stuff to you? I would argue maybe no. I mean, I won't even jump into half the stuff that you've done because I would be here for hours even just talking about half. You know, just on the top of my head, there was that clip going around where you decided to grab a random guy in a video in the area that you're probably not supposed to grab. Then there's also the Davy Vanity stuff that I really don't get into because that is a clusterfuck. And I mean, just this situation's probably good enough, isn't it? You try to ruin a 19-year-old's life because you were jealous he was doing better than you on the internet. Like, come on, we don't all make that mistake.
For everyone saying Jeffree's gonna be coming with the receipts and we all need to get ready to forgive, that is the opposite of who I am. I know I'm dramatic.
Oh, we know that, don't worry, okay? We learned a long time ago that you're the type of person who says that they've got receipts and all this, but then never actually shows them. Like, yet again, good example, in your last video talking about this situation about a year ago, you said you had all this evidence, this voice note that would end James Charles, but you just couldn't show it. And then, of course, decided to be the bigger person by then spending the next year just teasing it on various podcasts, being like,
Oh guys, I have this voice note, let me tell you, it would end James Charles, but I'm the bigger person, I would never do that.
So yeah, believe me, we didn't think you were gonna come with receipts, okay? It's probably the last thing we thought you were gonna come with.
And today I will not be sitting here showing a million text messages and all these things.
Oh, and a little stutter, by the way. I mean, does that mean that Jeffree Star's team is behind the camera? You know, people who actually held him this response? Conspiracy! But yeah, I don't think it would be the biggest shock in the world that someone in Jeffree Star's team probably written every single word of this video, okay? That's just obvious at this point.
I know this may sound shocking coming from my mouth, but when you accept that you are the problem, you can become the solution. And I've definitely put myself in the victim mentality before when I knew I was wrong and I didn't want to admit it, I wasn't ready to and I was too insecure. But today, there are no excuses. I'm someone that has impulse control and I'm fully admitting my flaws and I hope that people can learn from me.
Okay, so if you're coming out and saying, look, I fucked up, I'm in the wrong and all this stuff, does that mean that James Charles is innocent all along? I mean, that seems to be what you're insinuating. Like, if you really did genuinely believe, which you've came out and said before, by the way, that James Charles was a predator, a danger to society, you had this voice clip that would end his career. Would you have actually done anything wrong in this situation? Would you be apologising? Or does that mean he was just jealous all along and just kind of made up a lot of the stuff or over-exaggerated certain points? I mean, I'll let you be the judge.
A lot of people want me to address this situation. And a lot of people were putting a time stamp like, Jeffree, you need to speak on this right now. And I think that we live in a world where people are just so used to doing what people want right away. And that's not good either.
No, I'll tell you exactly the reason why people wanted that, okay? And it might be extremely shocking. It's because when the heat was on James Charles last year, you wasted absolutely no time. You went to Twitter, paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. You started talking about his apology, how bad it was, all this stuff, saying you've got all the receipts. But then as soon as the heat was on you this year, you ghosted. So it really is weird how the rules seem to change as soon as the heat's on you. Like, all of a sudden it's a problem that people expect a response quickly. Does that make sense? I'm genuinely 99% convinced that Jeffree Star just lives in his own, I was gonna say a little bubble. I mean, judging by the framing in the background, it doesn't look like the littlest of bubbles. But he does sit in his own mansion bubble and is just in his own world. And I genuinely feel like he thinks he's in like a movie. He's a film star in his movie and it's all based around him. Like, I think it's probably quite a bit of a shock to Jeffree that people don't want to just bow at his feet anymore. I mean, he's came out on numerous occasions and said people won't speak about him because he has dirt on every single person in the community. So it's very interesting the one time that people didn't want to just bow down at his feet, he all of a sudden wants to change the rules. I mean, that is very interesting, Jeffree.
I didn't try to take anyone down. I'm not a villain in a movie.
You are, okay? That is one thing that I'm not gonna let slide, okay? You are a Sith Lord, not a fucking villain in a movie. How dare he just lie to my face like that? And also, side note, he did definitely want to take James Charles down. I mean, he came out and called him a predator and a danger to society. I mean, wasn't exactly gonna fill him with success, was it?
We have to all take accountability for our own actions and no one else's. And that's what I will continue to do. And if I don't, please fucking remind me.
Oh, Jeffree, you know what? It's funny you'd say that because I would love to remind you. I mean, let me just go and comment on this video and just remind you dead quick. The comments are off, aren't they? Oh god, I forgot about that. I mean, how are we ever going to remind him now? I mean, it's very, very interesting. It's almost as if you don't mean what you say, but who am I to judge?
Did I believe certain things instead of asking the source? Did I get caught up in the hype? Did I do dumb shit? And did I not just simply call James Charles and ask questions myself? 100%. And that is my fault. I would like to personally apologize to James Charles for the words that I've said and for my actions. People really gassed me up, get me going behind the scenes, and I really fell for a lot of things and I got caught up in the hype. It's disgusting. It's awful.
Right, I'm not gonna completely go against him. If he does do something that's quite good for his standards, I'm guessing. I was gonna just say good, but it's not good for the normal person, is it? But for his standards, he's saying that he's owning up to stuff. I mean, he did kind of use the Ty Westbrook excuse and be like, oh, you know, people were just gassing me up behind the scenes. It wasn't actually me, I promise. But he did own up to a bit, I guess. So, props, maybe? I don't fucking know anymore.
And myself and anyone involved would agree with me that there are way bigger issues happening on this planet. Now, Breonna Taylor still has no justice. Black trans women are being murdered every—
Oh, no, Jeffrey, this isn't it. That's a big old yikes. You can't just stay completely silent for however many months it's been now, and then as soon as you have to apologize and get people to forgive you, bring it up in this video. How are you ever gonna look good doing that? I mean, let me just check the description. No, wait, this is literally it. Okay, so there's no links, there's no nothing in the description. I mean, you quite clearly do care, don't you? This definitely does have PR written all over it. There's someone in his team that's quite clearly told him to say this, but let's hear him out.
Since I opened my doors in 2014, I have created products for everyone. Any product, shade, or formula I've created has worked for any race, gender, and most importantly, I want you guys to remember that all beauty matters. And from the very first—
Oh no, oh god, I didn't like that. You can't just sit there and take something like Black Lives Matter and then rearrange it to some little quirky slogan that you can put in your little apology video. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. I guess it's not really my place to be offended, but I would be very, very curious to see how people would take that, because I just can't imagine people taking that very well. Yeah, just looking on Twitter, and people don't seem to be too happy with that either. I don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea.
And he is one of the most kind people that I've ever met in my entire world. I know that Shane would put his family and friends before himself in a flash.
But he didn't. I mean, that's kind of the problem here. He didn't put James Charles in front of anyone. He didn't even give him a heads up. And I think it's quite apparent now that even though Ty Westbrook is a grown woman, she can do whatever she wants to do, Shane did have involvement in the whole Bye Sister video, whatever it was called. So he didn't. So what you just said there just quite clearly isn't true. It's just not. It's fact.
Now, did Shane and I get caught up in the drama and do some dumb shit? Of course we did.
Oh, didn't Shane and I just get caught up in the drama and do some dumb shit?
What? Is that it, was it? You just got a little bit caught up, was it? You took part in trying to destroy a 19-year-old's career because you were jealous that he was doing better than you. That's not just getting caught up in the drama, you know? Oh god, just getting all caught up in the drama. For someone who said they weren't going to make excuses throughout this video, there's been a lot of excuses. But yeah, what I will say to finish off this video is that he has quite clearly owned up to a few things. Yes, there's a lot of stuff in this video that I can tell is going to anger a lot of people, and the stuff that I see in this video and I just think, PR, like, he doesn't mean what he says. Does he really give a shit? He's just been living his best life, buying 20 grand shoes while this whole chaos has been happening. He probably doesn't care. So I guess if you're going by the book of apologies, if that was a real thing, I guess you could say on paper, this might not be the worst video in the world, but if you're just looking at it like a human, and you're judging enough a human on the way they act, the way they say things, just the feeling you get of them, you know? Feels bad to say this, but I don't particularly feel like he cares at all. And that might just be me, and it might just be a dodgy opinion, but it just feels like someone's saying something, and it's gonna get a few people off his back, and he'll just carry on how he always does, because that's what always happens. And we can't look past the all beauty matters comment I made. That's just straight up dumb. That's all it is, it's just dumb. But yeah, I would love to hear your opinions on it either way. Let me know in the comment section down below, get a bit of a conversation going, and then I imagine if Jeffree and Shane have been talking, Shane will probably come out with something very shortly, hopefully a little bit better than the first one. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that, and you know I'll probably end up making a video talking about it. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. But yeah, if you are new here, I would bloody love it if you could subscribe, maybe leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, all that fun stuff. And also, thank you very much for 300,000 subscribers. We finally got there, so you don't have to hear me beg for it at the beginning of every video. Hallelujah! And yeah, without further ado, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, good.
I'm a T-star, boy, and that's forever till I die. Up and coming, MC, you will see it in my eyes. Every time I drop the mic, I swear I got hypnotized.